Another week of football has passed and another episode of The Last Word is here. It might be one of the last proper ones for this season, but let's pick up that megaphone and get on with it, eh? The Last Word! Well lads, I backed the Clyde promotion party and I was right to do so. For the first time in about 10 years, Clyde won't be playing in the 4th tier of Scottish football next season. They deserve it this season, they've been great. They were very unlucky to not get automatic promotion, so to do it at the next possible hurdle, I am pleased for them. Last word, got the job done. By the way, Clyde versus Falkirk next season. There's a tasty 4 games to look forward to next season. On the flip side of that tie, another team that done fantastically well this season but came out on the wrong end of the stick yesterday. Annan Athletic may have finished 4th in Scottish League 2 and it may have been slightly undeserved if they'd went up, but you've got to feel for them. Here's what their manager Peter Murphy had to say after the game. After the season we've had, with the record club points total for the whole season to turn on a refereeing decision that none of the Clyde players or staff appealed for, that is the most disappointing thing. That's changed the destiny of a club. Last word, hard done by. It's easy to bash Hamilton, it's easy to criticise. I've been guilty of it myself. I predicted them to go down this season. But I'm not going to do that today. That's now a 6th successive season, that's a tongue twister on that, in the Premiership, and 9 seasons out of the last 12 that they've spent in the top flight. Any club who aren't a mainstay in the Premiership would love to have stats like that. Hamilton are there because they deserve to be. No fans or not, it really doesn't matter, because the people who are there at Hamilton are making them the club they are today. Last word, community. Also, farewell to Dougie Imrie as he hangs up his playing boots and goes into a coaching role. A character of the game, you could say. This really was an entertaining game of football yesterday, one that I didn't actually expect to be as entertaining as it was, but regardless, 5 goals. A 3-2 win for St Mirren, and the only downside to it was that the atmosphere did sort of die out as St Mirren fans were finding out the Hamilton score, but the St Mirren fans and Dundee fans to a certain level as well, it at least was a decent enough atmosphere yesterday. Cody Cook with his first goals of the season, and a hat-trick nonetheless. It's a shame for him that they didn't mean more in the grand scheme of things, but at least St Mirren still have a chance of staying up. They just had to win that game yesterday and hope for the best. Last word, did all they could have. Who's going to get promoted then? Dundee United or St Mirren? Or, in St Mirren's case, are they going to stay up? Let me know in the top right hand corner right now. When you have a striker that scored near enough 50 goals in a season, you're bound to be somewhat successful. Well, Cove Rangers have Mitch Megginson, who just missed out on that 50 goal mark this season, but his goals have helped fire them into the SPFL and be the first Highland League side to ever make it there. Another fantastic football achievement that's been achieved this weekend, and it's a warm welcome to the SPFL to Cove Rangers. Last word, rewarded. And now, again, we need to look at the flip side of a result, and this time it's Berwick Rangers, and they, for the first time in 68 years, will spend a season outside of the SPFL. There's no doubt this will have an effect on the club the size of Berwick Rangers, but it's the Lowland League for them next season. They'll want to bounce back straight away, no doubt, but it'll definitely be a hard task. Last word, challenging. There were multiple controversies in this 2-legged tie in the playoff semi-final between Dundee United and Inverness, but at the end of the day, it's Dundee United who go through to the playoff final to play St Mirren over 2 legs this coming week. Can Dundee United finally get through the playoffs? They've failed in the last 3 attempts, but is this the time that they buck that trend? In my opinion, it will be, but St Mirren will certainly be no pushovers, that's for sure. Last word, 2 down, 1 to go. And yes, I will be at both legs of that playoff. I'll be in the Dundee United end in the first leg and the St Mirren end in the second leg. Who says I'm no impartial? I literally do not need to go over this one for very long at all. Manchester City won a game of football. No, I'm not surprised either. Manchester City 6, Watford 0. The FA Cup is Man City's to keep, and they've just went and done the job once again, just like they always do. And a domestic treble, the first time that's ever been done in men's football. Crikey. Last word, far too good. Shout out to good guy David Silva, by the way. He got on the score sheet, and Vincent Kompany lifting another trophy for Manchester City once again. The guy is actually moving on to pastors new now and going back to Anderlecht as player manager. But he's still a good guy. The second leg may have been quite a drab affair in this one, but the job was pretty much done for the first leg for Queen of the South. Stephen Dobie didn't score, and that's probably the biggest shock from the two legs of football. But looking forward to next season, Alan Johnson versus Stevie Crawford. Bring it on, eh? Last word, guess who's back? Back again. The title may have been up for grabs until the last day in the Bundesliga, but it really didn't matter, did it? Bayern Munich won their game, and that's now 7, yes, 7 league titles in a row. And to round it all off, Ian Robben and Frank Ribery, two legends of the game, were playing the last game for Bayern Munich yesterday, and they scored the final 2 goals to seal the game and seal yet another league title for Bayern Munich. Last word, fitting. And that's it for this episode, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below the last word for whatever game you were at, or your season as a whole, because I imagine a lot of team seasons will have now finished. But as I said, that's it for this video, so subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, which will probably be a video tomorrow talking about Dunfermline's new signings and looking forward to what signings we could make this summer. Tomorrow, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.